Our next speaker is the proud father of 2 twins that are more than 2 years old now. He worked as COO at Taekwondo and is now working on defining the pricing of tomorrow for e-commerce. Please give a warm applause to Eiko, founder and MD of Seven Learning.
So I just have one pair of twins, not twice. I think that would be too much for me. Yeah, also welcome from my side again. And also thanks a lot to this Smart Pricer team for organizing this. I think it's a great opportunity to get in touch with the pricing community in Berlin and to learn more about smart pricing approaches. So before I start with my presentation, let me tell you about us and Seven Learnings. What we do, essentially we offer online retailers a SaaS solution for machine learning based price optimization, always with the goal to increase profitability, increase revenues, but also to automate pricing processes. Who are we? We are all from e-commerce. So I've worked in e-commerce for more than 5 years. My co-founder Felix, he worked for Zalando beforehand, was there responsible for the pricing algorithm, and now we work with customers like About You, but also outside of the fashion retail, for example in the online pharmacy market. Let me tell you a little bit more about machine learning and retail. I think first of all, it's very interesting to use machine learning in retail. We already heard about some use cases from SO1. Actually, retail is the most attractive industry for machine learning applications. When I talk about machine learning applications, I mean deep learning, neural networks. So there's a potential efficiency gain of $800 billion annually, which you can use or leverage from machine learning technology. And pricing and promotions is the most attractive use case. Other attractive use cases are customer service management, chatbots. I think everybody heard about that. And yes, so very attractive to do machine learning there. We are focused on online retail, and pricing in online retail is especially challenging because you have, besides the complexity of retail, where you have lots of products, hundreds and thousands of products, lots of different product categories, product segments, you have a very dynamic environment where you have internal factors like changing marketing campaigns, but you also have competitors who change their behavior, change their prices, change their marketing behavior. So it's really challenging to do pricing in online retail. And what we see is that many teams are overwhelmed with this task. They use tools, very conventional tools like Excel tools to do pricing. And this in the end leads to suboptimal results if you do pricing like that. And also what we see is that many have a very dominant strategy of price matching, crawling competitive prices and kind of using rules to rank prices to be close to them. And if you only use this strategy, we believe it's a race to the bottom, and we call it also the blind follows the blind. This is actually something where you can do better and where you can use machine learning technology to yield better results, produce better results. So what's the potential of using machine learning in online retail? Or what are the benefits for you? You can significantly increase your revenues by 10%, also profits. If you invest in these kind of measures, you have a very fast return on invest because you have this big lever on profits and margins, and you reduce manual work. You can automate processes, and you can enable more fact-based decisions. And how do we do this? How are we at 7 Learnings are doing this? So in the end, we take lots of data, collect lots of data from online retailers, lots of internal data, transaction data, historic demand, historic prices, lots of category data as well. Also marketing data like spend on SEA, and also data about the cost function. And we can enrich this with external data like competitive prices, weather, seasonality. What we do with this is that we produce a demand, revenue, and profit forecast per daily forecast per product and price point, and we also measure price elasticities. When you have that, you can actually offer a solution to the customer, to the online retailer, where they just use their financial targets as an input, so they can say, I want to maximize profit with the site condition to reach a certain revenue, and we can hand them back a optimal pricing scenario. They can also use price rules to kind of set the boundaries of this algorithm. So I don't know, you have a certain brand like Adidas, where you only want to have discounts of 20%, so you set the boundaries of the algorithm, and within these boundaries the algorithm finds the right price for you. Maybe to make this more specific, so let's take this sneaker right here. So what we do in the end is that we can predict the revenue, the profit for the sneaker at every price point. So every dot here you see is a different price point. And just looking at the sneaker, we can already tell you, okay, what would be the profit optimal price of this sneaker. But we also have all of these curves from all of your products. So when you want to optimize your whole assortment, and let's say you have a certain revenue target, you want to maximize profits, then what we essentially do is that we use the best trade-off between revenue and profit for all of these products. So that would mean normally that we would increase, have a product which has a low elasticity, price elasticity. So we would usually increase prices for this product, because there we do not lose a lot of revenue, but win a lot of profit. If you have a high elasticity, we would usually lower prices a little bit, because we have we gain lots of revenue but don't lose that much profit. Yeah, that's basically what we do. So for the customer, it's quite simple. We make a fresh forecast automatically for every day, and the customer can just run optimizations. They can run this for their whole assortment. They can run it for product groups, and they can kind of look into the future and see, okay, if I want to reach this target, revenue target, where am I going to be with my profits? And then they can also decide to run a more aggressive scenario where they maximize revenues, or a less aggressive scenario where they optimize more on profits. Yeah, so that's basically, I think, a very intuitive way of steering this. You can directly use your financial inputs to do this, and let the machine run all the optimizations. And you're not working with a machine learning black box where you just get prices, optimal prices thrown over the fence, but you have on this level an option to kind of still be in the driving seat and steer your pricing strategy. We also allow for drill down really on product level to show why the algorithm actually chose this kind of price. Let me go back for a second, maybe a little bit about the limits of this. So when we do these forecasts, we actually do them for 2 weeks. Forecasts longer than two weeks are usually, you lose lots of accuracy. They also do not help you a lot for pricing decisions. And obviously you need in your data some price changes, not for all of the products, but it's really helpful. Our algorithm learns across products, so we can also price products that haven't had a price change in the past. And theoretically we could also price if you haven't had any price changes in the past, because in the end what you do, you would start to change prices, and you can do this very systematic with us as well. Yeah, these kind of the limits of what you can do with this kind of solution. Let me tell you a little bit more about the technology behind it. So we have 2 core technologies. We have a forecasting technology. It's that 2 modules in there. It's a demand forecast and an elasticity module. We use a recurrent neural network or for both modules, all machine learning modules and models. And the special thing is that we actually are able to learn across these products. I already said that this leads to being able to price products that haven't had a price change in the past. We're really good at daily forecasts here. And on the optimization, we are able to easily customize this to your specific target function or cost function. And you are able to do this very intuitive steering where you really just use your financial inputs as targets. And we can run these optimizations pretty much in real time. It takes 5 minutes to do it. Yeah, that was for me, and thank you for your attention, and happy to answer your questions.
When we do projects for customers, is what's the legal situation on being able to differentiate a price for a certain product to this kind of customer versus that kind of customer? Do you have any background information on this?
I do, but we don't do personalized pricing. So it's not really, I think it would have been a good question to ask for one, because there it's a bigger topic, I understand. But we don't do it. I understand it's kind of a gray zone. You can do it. It's also a question of whether you make your customers happy with that. I think legally you are able to do it, but I think it's a big question if it always leads to customer happiness in the end. Yeah.
Other questions? No? Then thank you a lot, Eiko.
Thank you.